Hello class, I'll be discussing today negligence and damages involving tourism and hospitality under the course of legal aspects in tourism and hospitality. So, what is the objective of this lesson? First, of course, you'll be working soon in the industry, so you should have the necessary knowledge of the law of torts and damages, because sometimes when you're giving customer service, things like this happen, damages and torts happen, and you should have the utmost care and due diligence based on every circumstance when you're already working. So, what is the concept of tort? Well, according to Black's Law Dictionary, legal wrong committed upon person or property independent of the contract. So, according to our Article 2176 of the Civil Code, it is defined as a fault or negligence of a person who, by his act or omission, connected or unconnected with, but independent from any contractual relation, causes damage to another person. So, basically, it's a wrongdoing or a damage to another person or property. So, what are the major purposes of tort law? Um, these four are the purposes of tort law. According to these four, to summarize it, it is your responsibility once somebody has do you damage or you did damage to somebody. Um, it is as you see here in the second bullet, it is to deter wrongful conduct and provide a peaceful means of settling wrongdoing. Okay, what are the elements for something to be tort or quasi-delict? I've already placed here the definition of a quasi-delict. So, the elements of tort or quasi-delict are these four. So, damages suffered by the plaintiff. So, there should be a damage that happened. There should be a fault by somebody, and a defendant. It can be a person or it can be an establishment. Now, there should be a causal connection, meaning there is a cause and effect. No? Because of this thing that you did or you omitted, somebody was deliberately you deliberately damaged something, and then there is no pre-existing. If you see here number 4, it says no pre-existing contractual relation between the parties, meaning, for example, you're on your internship or OJT. Sometimes the employer would state there in your contract that there is no employee-employer relation, meaning if something happens to you inside the workplace while you're doing your intern, they are not liable. So if you sign something like that, therefore number 4 will be in effect. No pre-existing contractual relation, but in that case there was a contractual relation between the two of you. Okay, here we define fault and negligence. Well, fault basically is an omission causing damages. Negligence is like not doing something, therefore causing the damage. For example, somebody in the guest slipped in the hotel, guest in the hotel slipped, and then causing for them to have a broken leg. Therefore, it's a negligence of the part of the hotel for not uh, doing safety measure or cleaning the floors properly. So that's negligence. Now we have here two kinds of fault. One is the culpa aquiliana or the culpa extracontractual, which states that there is no pre-existing relation between the the one who did damage and the one who did the damage, no? So meaning, for example, if I ride a jeepney, there's no contract naman between us. No, there's no contract between us, but because of my negligence, for example, I bumped into somebody, causing the passengers to have damage, or causing the passengers to panic. Then therefore, this is the kind of fault that is applicable, no? Kasi wala naman contract relation between us, but I still have an obligation to them. Now, second is culpa contractual, or meaning you have a pre-existing contract, no? Like when for example, when you sign your employee contracts, even if you're contractual lang inside an establishment or inside a company, they're forced to, or they're required to take care of you if something happens to you, no? This is what is meant by the second statement, or the culpa contractual. Okay, here, Article 102 of the Revised Penal Code, liability of innkeepers and hotel keepers. So, meaning, what is the liability of a lodging establishment, no? According to this penal code, civilly liable for crimes committed in their establishment. So, meaning, if a crime happens within your establishment, or a tort or a damage happens inside your establishment, it is within your jurisdiction, therefore is your responsibility. May nadulas, or for example, there was a theft that happened inside your establishment. It is the or it is the management of the hotels or the lodgings responsibility. So as you can see here, restitution of goods taken by robbery or theft within their houses from guests loading therein, no? It is their responsibility if a robbery happened inside the hotel. Now, you have here person liable for damages arising from torts or quasi-delicts. No? It just summarizes who are the person liable, because it's not all the time the person who did the damage will be the person who's liable. Like, for example, in the first case, the first bullet, the father, and in case of death or incapacity, the mother are responsible for the damages caused by minor children, meaning children below 18 who live in their company, no? So yung anak nila, they are responsible. And if you can see here, number 4, employers naman shall be liable for damages caused by the employees. So these are the person liable, no? So you will see who will be the one that you'd be dealing with, or yung dinedemanda when you're in court. When you put somebody in court, when somebody does damage to somebody, no? So we have another case that I will be sending. This would be ABC Resort that hired without a background check. So consider these questions. I'll be sending the case. Another case is a balikbayan tito who ordered a bulalo in a restaurant, and he was accidentally poured in by the cook. So who will be liable for that? Okay, so that's about it. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.